Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about the sign Scorpio in terms of if you have a Scorpio ascendant. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, and when I think of fixed water, I think of ice because they have these strong emotions being a water sign, but they just can't express it. They have these passions, they have just these gut-wrenching feelings about people, and they just can't get it out. So it's very frustrating to not be able to express your deep heart, passionate feelings, and that's relative to the sign of Scorpio. Now, Mars is the ruler of the sign Scorpio. And Mars also rules the 6th house, which is health and healing. And therefore, Mars rulership over the house of healing and health and the 1st house, this is the planet that rules their physical constitution and their health. Now, because the 6th house deals with health, they are totally into health. They're into fitness, they're into exercise, they're into what they eat, and taking care of themselves because of this rulership. Now, because the 6th house can deal with enemies and the 1st house is the self, they can be their own worst enemy, being critical and hard on themselves. Now, Venus is the planet that rules the 7th house as well as the 12th house. The 7th house meaning relationships, love, how we relate, our partner. The 12th house can deal with losses. So they have quite the issues dealing with partners and loss and sometimes secrets that they didn't know about. So therefore it can deal with betrayals and problems in relationships that they have experienced, loss, or even connection to foreign loves because the 12th house is dealing with foreigners as well. So they have their fair share of issues and problems within marriage and relationships. Mercury rules the 8th and the 11th house. Therefore, this tells you much about Mercury being their way of communicating, which they have problems with really getting information out there. The 8th house is the most difficult house of all. It deals with humiliation and disgrace and scandals. And the 11th house does deal with friends and groups and organizations that they're involved in. And they may be involved in some organizations that are relative to disgrace, scandal, or they may have some friends that are very disgraceful and very scandalous and could get them in trouble. And they have issues around friends and friendship because of this. Friends that somehow betray them, talk about them behind their back. This is the 8th house quality mixed with the 11th house quality. And probably they will have issues concerning their eldest sibling as well. Jupiter rules the 2nd and the 5th house. So Jupiter is their money planet. It brings wealth and money into their life. And this is a great thing. So Jupiter being the planet of wealth and money and prosperity, the fact that it rules the 2nd house of the money we earn in the 8th and the 5th house, which deals with opportunities, it deals with investments, with stocks, they will do very, very well. And they're very creative and they know how to talk about their creative pursuits, what they want to create in their life. Remember, Scorpio is one of the wealthiest signs of the zodiac. And now we know why, because Jupiter's rulership of the 2nd and the 5th. Now, Saturn is not so hot because it rules the 3rd house. And it rules the 4th house. 3rd house can be relative to our brothers and sisters. And the 4th house is our family. So their brothers and sisters can at times cause issues or problems around the home, around the family, and sometimes threaten to some degree security. Or their brothers and sisters do not get along with the mother. There's problems here. Now, the sun and the moon are the most auspicious, especially if they are together or aspecting one another in the chart that has Scorpio as the ascendant, because The sun rules the 10th and the moon rules the 9th. Together they would create Raja Yoga, ruler of an angle and a trine coming together. But the sun, by the fact that it rules the 10th, the sun is in charge. The sun is the king. The sun is the planet that rules leadership. And the fact that it rules the 10th house, these people do not work well for other people. They have to be the boss and they have to be in charge and ultimately own their own companies. CEOs or presidents, I might say. They're the leader. And they are very successful and they shine around the area of their career and they experience great success. Moon ruler of the 9th. The 9th house represents our spiritual beliefs, so they're very sensitized to what they believe and the truth. It's important to them. And the fact that the moon can deal with fluctuations and change. They can change their ideas as to what they truly believe in. And their father may have been fluctuating in his thoughts, ideas, and the ways that he communicated his information. But together, the sun and the moon are all powerful in the chart for Scorpio as an ascendant. So what planets are the best and worst for Scorpio? Well, Jupiter, I will have to say, is probably their best planet because of the rulership of the 5th, and the 2nd brings them wealth. Mercury is the worst because it rules the 11th house, which is the planet that rules the 11th, creates problems. And the 8th house is the most detrimental, so Mercury is their worst planet. But again, their best planet would be Jupiter, Mars because it rules the 1st house, and of course the moon because it rules the 9th house of spirituality, truth, luck, and fortune. So with that, I think you might have a better grasp of why the sign Scorpio is the way that it is. So with that, I'd like to close. If you'd like to know more information on astrology, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to learn astrology, go to my university, University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.